So let's cover some of the strategies that you can use to sell more of your courses. And these are all strategies that I use. So I'm not just like making them up saying you could do them. These are literally things that I use in my business to sell courses every single day. Now, the first one we're going to cover is honestly my favorite because it's free. Well, it's not free because you obviously have to spend the time, and time is a currency, right? But it doesn't cost you any money to actually do, and it's very, very effective. Now, that's going to be content marketing. Now, I'm going to explain for those of you that don't know, I'm assuming most of you do, but I'm going to explain what content marketing is and why it works so well. But ultimately, with content marketing, it's not like you're spending money on ads and then you're getting like this initial firestorm of sales. With content marketing, you're going to create a piece of content that can be a post content, that can be a post, that can be a video, it could be text, it could be audio, whatever, content in general. Post it up on certain platforms, and then it's going to specifically drive consistent evergreen traffic to, that video or that post and whatever link you obviously link to it that's relevant, right? So you can use content marketing very, very effectively to, push your courses and your coupon codes. Now, content marketing is essentially when you create a piece of content. The majority of you are probably going to create video content because, in my opinion, that works well. Although you can also create posts. And one of the things we're also going to talk about is going to be audio content here in a second when we cover podcasts and how you can actually go about doing that. But content marketing is when you create mainly a video and you put it up on platforms like Facebook video or YouTube, for example. And you create that video on the specific niche or topic that you're trying to push your course on, right? So for example, I have a lot of reselling courses, which is basically online arbitrage. It's reselling products online to make money. And so what I do is A, it's fun for me, but B, I also use content marketing to create a bunch of reselling tutorials and answer reselling questions on my YouTube channel. I also put them on a blog. And so what that does is the whole purpose of platforms like YouTube and Facebook, for example, as well as all the other ones, Instagram or literally any of the other ones, their whole purpose is to keep people like you and me on their platforms, using their platforms longer so that they can show them more ads so that they can make more money. That's the goal of all of these platforms. They monetize with ads, okay? And so if their whole goal is to keep people on the platform longer, then obviously with the data that they have on all their users like you and me, they're going to constantly suggest pieces of content that they know those people are interested in. And so content marketing works so well because, for example, with me, and obviously you can take this and relate it to whatever the specific topics that you're creating content on. For me specifically, when I create reselling videos on YouTube or any of these platforms, YouTube is literally out there with data on everybody, and they're more likely to suggest my reselling videos and find people that are interested in reselling to obviously people that have a proponents to be interested in reselling or have demonstrated that in the past, right? And so they're literally serving my videos about reselling to people that are interested in reselling. They know who those people are. And so it draws interested people into those videos. And then obviously I can link to my reselling courses with coupon codes or however I want to do that. Okay. And so that's why content marketing works so well, because you're literally creating pieces of content. Most of you will be creating video content around specific topics. And then those platforms will hand feed your videos to people that are more interested in them. And then you can siphon off that traffic slowly, consistently into sales for your courses, okay? So that's content marketing in a nutshell if you did not know, and that's why it works so well. Now, some of the top platforms are like this, and there are a bunch, that's why I listed, etc. But just naming off the top of my head, YouTube is one that I use all the time. It's phenomenal. Video content, both short form and long form, are great ways to do this, and honestly, it's still the best to this day. Now, a Facebook page is another phenomenal place to do this, and I still do the same thing. And I also, when I create videos for YouTube, I also post them to my Facebook page. You can create a Facebook page for your personal brand, so literally a Facebook page that's your name, and then also have that as a Facebook page, or you can create it around your business. If, for example, you have like a Udemy Instructor profile that's not your name, but it's your business name or your media company's name, then obviously you can create a Facebook page that's synonymous with that under your business name. Now, you can also, a lot of people don't know this, but you can also use your personal Facebook profile to do this and literally just post videos there. And one of the pushbacks that I get from that, if people don't want to create a Facebook page, but they're not comfortable posting videos or posts to their personal Facebook page or for personal Facebook profile, is you don't actually have to post, and serve that video or that post from when you're actually posting it to everybody on your friends list. A lot of people are worried that like people that they went to high school with or their friends or family are going to see these posts, and they don't necessarily want them to be seen by those people, but they are interested in having other people see them. And so what you can do with there is you can use segmented lists. Now, I'm not going to create a tutorial on this because it's so easy to do, and there's a number of other tutorials on there, but all you need to do is go to Google and type in how to create segmented lists on Facebook. And basically what it's going to show you is how to group certain friends into certain lists. And then when you create a post, you can choose which list to post it to, right? So you can literally put all your friends that you don't want to see it in a specific list and not post it to those people, but post it to everybody else. And like I said, many tutorials on YouTube, many tutorials on Google that you can literally search and find. Very easy to do, very easy to set up. Now, LinkedIn is also, believe it or not, a great one. People think LinkedIn is just for like people to find businesses and just to find jobs and employees, but it's not. It's actually becoming like a social media platform. So try LinkedIn. I believe videos on LinkedIn can be only 15 minutes or 10 minutes to my knowledge. That's the max now. It's been a while since I've actually hit that limit. But if whatever the limit is, obviously just, know that you can post videos under that. And I would assume that just like any other platform, they're going to slowly expand that as they get access to more data. But there's a limit on it right now because they don't want people posting a lot of long form content when they don't have the data storage. So LinkedIn is another great one. Do not sleep on that as well. Then obviously you have Instagram and Instagram TV, a no-brainer. You can also use TikTok. I used to kind of do that, but I deleted my TikTok, which is something we're going to talk about here in a second. I also don't really do this on Instagram or IGTV anymore, although I used to, and it can work well as well. And again, we're going to talk about why here in a second. You can also do a podcast, which I don't do anymore, although you can do that as well. So one of the easiest ways to do that is like if you don't have time to sit down and create like an audio podcast, which most of us don't if we're creating content already. And, our whole goal is to sell our courses. Well, what you can do is you can strip videos for their audio in like in Adobe Premiere Pro. And the entire bonus section of this course that you'll get access to in the very last week, it's just kind of like a free bonus. So there's a number of other courses in there that you're going to get access to, like mindset, productivity, and all sorts of stuff like that, and personal finance and investing and stuff like that. So you can multiply your money, because it doesn't just matter, getting off on a tangent here, but it doesn't just matter how much money you make, it matters how much money you keep. So I want to teach you all of that stuff, and you'll get access to that as bonuses for free once you get through the very last week of the course. But one of the bonuses that you'll get access to is Adobe Premiere Pro. So like that's the software that I use and recommend. So I'll take you through an entire tutorial of literally how to do everything that I know of on Adobe Premiere Pro. But if you use another editing platform, then obviously you can and the whole reason I'm telling you that is because I will show you in that bonus section how to strip audio super quickly and super easily. But you can do that on any audio editing platform. It's so easy to do. So just look it up for whatever platform you use if you don't use Adobe Premiere Pro, and you can find out how to strip the audio from your videos and export just the audio. And then you can upload that audio to a podcasting platform. There's a number of ones out, like a number of podcasting platforms out there. One of the ones that I used to use that's 100% free is Anchor. It's a phenomenal one because you can just upload your audio to Anchor, and then Anchor will distribute your audio to other podcasting platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a phenomenal one to do that. You can do a podcast as well. I used to have a podcast. I deleted it, not because it wasn't working. It was actually bringing me in some money, and it was bringing me in some traffic and some sales because I was tracking with coupon links. But because we're going to talk about it in a second, you don't want to do all of these. Trust me on this, I'll get to it in a second. And then obviously a blog and a number of other things. So just to show you, if we pull up my blog, like all the videos that I create, I put blog articles on my blog. So they're searchable, so people can come and search. And this is actually pretty easy to set up. I use Wix, but literally any drag and drop website builder will do this, and you can create a blog on it and just post videos to it. And then also you can have like a searchable thing that you can send your traffic to, so that like if they click a video, not only can they watch that video hosted on YouTube, but also there's links to my specific courses where literally every single video that they end up on not only ranks on Google, not only potentially helps my YouTube videos, but also is going to potentially rank on my site and help, send traffic to whatever coupon codes I elect to send traffic to. So that's another really, really valuable way to do it. Just keep that in mind. But like I said before, the reason I don't do all of these anymore, and I literally only focus on YouTube and Facebook, is because I don't want you to get carried away. You want to pick one or two of these is what I'd recommend. or a few of them max, okay? If you try to do all of these, it'll be like another full-time job trying to manage social media. And like, don't get me wrong, I love Gary Vee as an entrepreneur. I love him because he's always out there like giving great advice. But one of the pieces of advice that I do not agree with him is he recommends like just blast out all the content platforms. But like the problem with that is if like you're on TikTok, you're on your podcast, you're on IGTV, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, and you're creating content for all these platforms, it's going to be like another full-time job for you to do that if you're on all these platforms and managing all these social media pages. And so I do not recommend you to do that, because ultimately these platforms should be used as content marketing platforms to bring you in customers and leads, not another full-time job, right? Your whole goal is to not be famous on these social media platforms. Your whole goal is to use these social media platforms to grow your business, right? And make more sales. So key here, and this is something that I've learned like anecdotally, but also through like consulting and taking other $1,000 courses plus, like a lot of my top mentors say like, you don't want to be focused on social media. That's a loser's game. And it's like something that like is kind of, it's a distraction, right? So you can use these platforms, but don't get carried away. Make no mistake. You can use them. Don't let them use you. All right. So content marketing, probably still one of my favorites. And I still use this every single day. Now, another tip here is split promotions. And this is one that kind of hit me. I've never heard anybody actually else like talk about this, although I'm sure other people do this, but I use split promotions. So little kind of caveat on what split promotions is like, let's say that these are your courses and these are just random like snippet of a bunch of courses that I have. So like, let's say you have all these courses. What typically will happen is like, if you create a new course, you'll go into course promotions and you'll select all of your courses and you'll promote to all your past students and all your courses, your new course, right? That's just a normal promotion. But what people don't realize is like, you don't actually have to do that, right? Like you can create a new course and then promote that new course to like 3 of your courses and then save the other courses that you haven't promoted to yet for other promotions. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to hit multiple different course lists, because sometimes different students are in different courses and sometimes the same students are in different courses. And it's going to be basically allow you to get more promotions out to more students. Obviously, you don't want to do this all on the same day, because like a student that's in this course very well might be in this course and very well might be in this course, right? So you want to time this and you want to track this. And I actually have an entire lecture on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it before or after, but just know that I'm going to create an entire lecture that's going to actually show you how to do this a little bit easier and kind of outline it. So I'll cover this more in depth. But this strategy of like promoting to just a few courses and tracking them, like, so like, for example, like, let's say I created a new course and I wanted to promote it to this and to this course, right? Well, then I would literally print out a list of my courses and cross these 2 off, knowing that I already promoted to them for one of the course promotions for the month, even though you get 2 per course. And then I know that I can still promote to these specific courses and the students in these courses for maybe a different course. So maybe I want to promote wholesale to the other ones and then just the new course to these 2, right? So it's going to depend on the niche, obviously, the specific courses that you're creating, topic wise, but just understand that this is a very, very valuable tool that a lot of people don't do. And I honestly have never heard anybody else talk about. So split promotions, very, very effective. Now, another way to do it is to post your promo videos. And I'm going to have an entire lecture on promo videos as well, because promo videos are literally like honestly probably one of the most valuable things that you can do to sell more of your courses by creating a good promo video. I'll have an entire video on like how I recommend that you create a promo video, and you can look at some of my courses for examples of it. So like you want to have a good CTA at the end. It's like a call to action. You want to inspire urgency. Like, why should they buy right now? Why can they not afford to wait? You want to demonstrate potential testimonials or reviews that you've gotten on that video or that course in the past, etc. There's a number of things that you can do to kind of show the value in your course, as well as like have like a good course statement. So like, this course will, by the end of this course, blank, blank, blank is what you'll get, like something like that. But once you spend a lot of time on your promo video, because like a lot of people will spend a lot of time creating their course, but then they'll just slap their course up and have it go live with no promo video, or like not a lot of effort on like the back end, right? But if you have a good promo video, you can not only post that on your course landing page, which will help increase your conversion rate, but you can also use that promo video to, post on other platforms to sell it there, right? So you can post your promo video from your course with limited coupon links or time sales, something else we've obviously talked about or will talk about in a future lecture, to YouTube, your Facebook page or profile, LinkedIn, all those social media platforms that we basically just covered right here, right? If you're on them, of course. course. So like a perfect example of this is like I do this all the time on YouTube. I'll post a promo video to one of my courses that I spent a lot of time creating on YouTube. And in the description, I'll be like, this is the promo video for my blank course or my brand new blank course. If you'd like to enroll in this course, you can for $15.99 for the next 5 days or whatever, however you want to actually do it, right? You can use limited amount of coupon links to inspire urgency or a specific time sale. So like this is only available for 50 people for the next 5 days or however you want to do it, okay? But that strategy, believe it or not, is free to you because you already have the promo video once you create it, but it's also very, very effective. Now, you can also simply post course thumbnail up, like your course thumbnail image with your course copy. Obviously, you want to modify it so that it makes sense to the new audience on whatever platform you're posting it on. And you can use like that course copy and that course thumbnail as like a text post and an image post on these same platforms like YouTube. You can use YouTube's like community tab if you have that. If you have enough subscribers, I'm not sure if it's 10,000 or 1,000, but at some point you get the community tab and you can obviously use that. You can also use a Facebook page or your Facebook profile, LinkedIn, or any of those other things. But this is also very, very effective if you don't have a promo video or if you just want to do it twice, like, on multiple days, one time your promo video, one time your course copy. It can also help convert, specific viewers into customers through a coupon link. Okay. Same overall strategy here. You want to use limited coupon links or a time call to action or a time sale, and then a call to action at the end to buy. So another very, very effective strategy that's going to help you sell more courses. Now, another really, really effective way is to obviously build an email list and then send limited promotions out to your email list, okay? The reason that this is so effective is because these people already know, like, and trust you. They already have elected to opt into your list and are expecting emails. And they already most likely probably, if not, obviously already do know that you create courses, right? So this is typically one of my highest converting promotional strategies. I have several email lists. One of them is I have segmented email lists. So I use Aweber. I also use my Wix website. And then I have another segmented list on my Teachable site. But I promote to all of them. And typically these are my highest converting promotional strategies when I send email promotions out to my lists, okay? Now, some keys here to do this for you is you don't only want to sell your courses to your list. If you constantly do that, then eventually it'll just go stale and your list will get bad, right? You must also give value emails too. More than you sell. In fact, probably much more than you sell. Now, there's no specific formula for this. Like, it's not like at once you can promote, give a promotional email like once every 3 emails, or like you must do 3 value emails. And then I've heard people have these formulas. There's no formula for it. Just try to give value emails. And then every once in a while, send a promotion out to your list and hit the list, and you will see that it converts. Okay. That's a really good, easy, simple strategy. Okay. And also, a good question to ask is, why would somebody be on this email list? What value is it bringing them, right? So if you're constantly just selling to them, what's the incentive for anybody valuable to be on the email list? There isn't, right? So you want to foster that list by giving them value. Maybe that's a new YouTube video. Maybe that's an insightful article that you read that can help them about that topic. Whatever it is, send them value emails, and then every once in a while pitch the list with a promotion, just like we've talked about before, right? Like limited coupons or a time sale, and then a call to action to buy. Now, another way that you can do it, and this is something I'm going to talk about here in a second, like I probably wouldn't recommend, but I wanted to talk about it because I've seen other instructors have success with it, and I've actually tried it and had some success with it, although I don't recommend it, and we're going to cover why here in a second. But you can run ads if you want to. So you can try, keyword there, to run ads to your promo videos from YouTube ads or Facebook ads or literally any ad platform if you want, okay? Now that's if you have experience with either one of those. That's the only person I'd probably recommend to try this with, because obviously the benefits of this is you're driving sales to your course, you're increasing the metrics for that course on Udemy, which is a huge ranking factor. Also, you're ranking your courses higher for that specific topic and specific related keywords, related to your course, assuming that you're obviously actually converting some of these people and this traffic into sales. Plus, on top of that, these 2 ad platforms are, typically having people that are trying to sell like $1,000 plus courses. So it's really not that ridiculous to expect some sales at like a $10 to $20 price point when you're competing with other people that are selling for higher prices, because the viewers on there are like used to getting hit with these expensive course sale promos. And like, so if they see like a $10 promotion, like, okay, they might be like, oh, well, like there's more incentive for me to take a chance on this course if I'm interested, right? So, it's something that you potentially can try, although I wouldn't recommend trying to go any higher than like $10 to $20 price point. That's just my opinion. You could try it if you want, although I wouldn't recommend it. Now, and this is something that I've seen like and tested myself as well. Now, believe it or not, it's not that easy to run ads profitably by any means. I sell, I sell multiple things online. I have run ads to many different things. I've run ads on Facebook. I've also run ads on YouTube, and I run Facebook ads and YouTube ads for the past like 3 years to my reselling course. And trust me when I say it is not nearly as easy to be profitable running ads as people make it out to be. Trust me. And honestly, it's going to be very difficult, if slightly difficult for those of you that have experience with such a low margin when you're selling Udemy courses at these price points. But obviously with this strategy, you only need to break even to be successful, because even if you don't make money on the front end, you're breaking even, but you're increasing your course's ranking, which is why this is effective on Udemy, which will obviously bring you more organic sales. Now, some of the drawbacks of this obviously are there's a major cash flow issue when you start scaling up and spending decent money, because you don't get paid right away with Udemy sales. You have to wait 30 days for the person in case they refund it, right? But you obviously have to pay for your ads right away and spend the money right away. So if you don't have a lot of money initially, you can potentially run into a cash flow issue. Or if you plan on scaling up and spending a lot of money on ads to drive a lot of sales, again, you can be spending a lot of money, but you might not recoup that money for at least a month, okay? So keep that in mind. You could run into a cash flow issue. It's also very difficult to track in general, and it's also very difficult to track your profitability. The main reason is refunds. It's a third-party platform. You can't track refunds unless you have like a full-time employee literally tracking all of your potential students, whether they refunded, when they're refunded, how much they spent, et cetera, et cetera. Also, there's different payments and different prices for people in different countries. So if you have a coupon code, for example, and you think that you're profitable because you're converting people on that coupon code that's $15 that you set, but somebody in India very well might be only spending $2 on that when they're seeing the same landing page, because Udemy's pricing structure now is different for different segments of the world. So that's another thing that people don't take into consideration when they're trying to push ads to Udemy courses. So it's very difficult to track, and that's definitely a major drawback. So ultimately, I would probably recommend avoiding this strategy unless you have experience running ads. It's very tough to be consistently profitable. And when you're spending money to drive traffic to like a platform that's not yours and a third-party platform like Udemy, that's something that you probably should be very, very wary of. Now, don't get me wrong, it has its benefits, but it certainly has its drawbacks like I just outlined. I do, however, the reason I wanted to touch on this is I do know several instructors that do this successfully. The majority of them, to my knowledge, aren't like that profitable doing it, but their main goal is like they look at it as a win if they break even, because then they're increasing their course ranking on Udemy because they're getting more sales and converting more people there and bringing outside traffic to their course, which ultimately will bring them more organic sales. Okay, so give it a shot if you want to, by all means. But like I said, I probably wouldn't recommend this for most people. Now, another effective thing that you can do is to start a Facebook group, okay? So you can also, like we've covered previously, start a Facebook page, but groups actually work a lot better because you get far more organic reach when you actually post in a group, which basically means people will see your organic posts from a group a lot more than they will from a page, okay? And then you can send your students there to be part of a community. That way, when you have a new course to launch or you want to promote a course, all your best students are in one place and you can obviously promote it to them. Now, some keys to doing this successfully is you don't, just like the email list kind of, you don't only want to post promos or it'll cease to work eventually, right? And you'll slowly kind of, like tax that list too much or tax that Facebook group too much. So you want to build a community there, right? You want to inspire questions. You want to inspire students to help each other and answer each other's questions. And you want to inspire them to post their results, etc. Okay? That way, it gives them an incentive to basically be there, right? It gives them an incentive to go there and stay there. And they'll also be more likely and more receptive to, enroll in your promotions when you actually do post them. Okay. Now, I also recommend that you post to this group at least one time per week with some value, because ultimately that will, like I said, give people an incentive to be there and stay there, but also it'll help students see that the group is still active as well. Now, you can also use your bonus lecture to do this and get students to this with a link in your bonus lecture. Although in my experience, like not many students make it to the bonus lecture, honestly. And like the students that do rarely click. So it doesn't, and I've tracked this for years. It barely converts anybody. So like key thing is like, yeah, use the bonus lecture. If you don't know what the bonus lecture is, obviously it's just like the article that you can post at the very last lecture of your course that says bonus lecture, where you can link to all of your other stuff. And that's fully within the Udemy terms of service. Although very rarely do people actually go to that lecture and click things. Okay. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can also send out, this is probably the most effective way. You can send out educational announcements to your students explaining it's a group for extra questions and for them to get extra content around the course topics, okay? Now, make sure if you do this that you don't come off like you're promoting or selling something, and you'll be totally fine. If you do that, obviously, it's not going to be a good look, and they might not approve your educational announcement. But if you don't come off like you're promoting or selling something and you're just kind of saying like, hey, this is another group so you can get extra kind of tips and tricks and extra tutorials, then you'll be totally fine, okay? It's totally within the terms of service. And I have done this several times. So you also don't want to link in your course to this. So you can't link to your actual Facebook group in your course unless it's in the bonus lecture, but you can show the group in a specific lecture too. Like you can actually demonstrate it on the screen. So if you want to be talking and like mention it, that's totally fine. You can say it, you can talk about it. And you can reference it several times if you want, like, students to become aware of that there is a group out there for them and how to find it. Just make sure that the name of the group is something easy for them to find. So a lot of talking in that one. I really hope it helped, but those are the main strategies that you can use to sell more courses.